A rather confident coupled symbol there. So let's see if the Congress can really use this to their advantage also in the House. But Chidambaram's big win has indeed taken the sting out of BJP's attack. But the party is not giving up. They are also now joined by the left, that is saying that Chidambaram still has other cases pending against him.
Petitions against P. Chidambaram have been dismissed by the Supreme Court. We are joined by the chief spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Ravi Shankar Prasad. Sir, is it a setback for the campaign which BJP has been running in Parliament and outside vis-a-vis 2G scam?
Don't link up the constitutional and political accountability of Sri Chidambaram with court decisions. Mr. Chidambaram sat with Mr. Raja and determined finally that 2G spectrum pricing. Has the government of India lost revenue or not? And if it has lost, his constitutional, his political, his democratic and parliamentary accountability remains relevant. That's what we are seeking inside the parliament, outside the parliament and in the JPs. All these series of scams, and why we are very particular, don't apply one yardstick for allies.
So it's not a setback, that's what you're trying to say, sir?
Surely not. This constitutional political accountability will remain relevant.
Thank you for speaking with us. With camera person Sanjoy Chaudhary, Kartikeya Sharma from Delhi for Headlines Today.
Alright, Ravi Shankar Prasad absolutely adamant that the political battle carries on. It might be a little bit of a legal setback, but politics, of course, is a different ballgame. But the man who has been hell-bent on nailing Chidambaram in the 2G case seems to be really sour at his loss. He will now file a review and even asking if really could it be possible that the judges have made certain errors. Here is Subramanian Swamy, a very irritated man coming out from the Supreme Court on a day that he thought that he will force general election from the country. His petition was thrown out.
That the decisions of Mr. Chidambaram caused a national loss, which I proved. In fact, the Supreme Court itself had upheld my petition dismissing the cancelling the license. But court now says now the court is talking about some conspiracy. There is not a whiff in my petition where I have argued the conspiracy angle. So you beyond it? I think this is a very bad judgment. I will get the judgment copy and seek a review. And because when I was arguing in the middle, I was stopped and said, okay. Then I said, but I have not cited the judgments. They said, you give us in written. I gave it in writing. So therefore, this judgment, in my opinion, is based on something I did not argue. So, no, there is still Aircel Maxis matter, which is to be clear.
Kartikeya, just take us through the workings of Parliament at this point of time. Do we actually see the House conduct some business? Because that is what perhaps our viewer would like to know. At the end of the day, is any good going to come out of it? Is there an end to the policy paralysis, or the government actually working?
Oh, two questions, yes. I would say that, we might find Parliament not working on Monday, and it might happen out of a knee-jerk reaction. Because the verdict on Chidambaram has been adverse for Bharatiya Janata Party. But let me bring in my colleague Mayur here. Mayur, how many major economic issues are pending with Chidambaram's department? If you have to count 5 big-ticket issues, what will they be?
Kartikeya, in fact, some of the biggest reform measures, Chidambaram has a lot of promises to keep. He has just now cleared a proposal for FDI in pension and insurance sectors. These are two very critical sectors. That's an important reform measure pending with Chidambaram. GST has to be implemented. Implementation of GST is a very key reform that Chidambaram has to undertake. Let's not talk about FDI in retail and civil aviation, because there are other sensitivities involved with these two sectors. But at least these are 3 very critical areas that Mr. Chidambaram has to undertake. And now, with the sword of this 2G allegation that Subramanian Swamy has put on his head, now with that sword partially removed, it is expected that Mr. Chidambaram could be able to put some constructive energy towards these reform measures.
So you can see Akash, there was a legal outpour in morning, there was a political outpour in noon, and post noon there's a literal outpour here at midday chops.
One hopes that the BJP does a little bit of less outpouring. Let's have a debate over this issue. Let's sort this issue out. Let's at least have Parliament work from Monday. Some business. Let's have some business being transacted. Whether or not the government is corrupt or there has been a wrongdoing, let's debate it out and let's go to the courts. But let's not stall Parliament.